Hello everybody, I know it has been a while since I posted a video. I'm so perplexed like that. It's been a lot going on and a lot for the better for me, to be honest. So I need that time. But videos will be coming out. 2026 is coming around. So for this video right here, I already pulled the 2 oracle cards that we're going to be working with. But it's all about describing like whether you're in a relationship with this person. It could be a best friend. It could be, you have a friend that could be confiding in you about some problems that they experience. But this is all about what's on his mind. Okay? So what I pulled out first was the oracles for his spiritual energy. So right here is the foundation to his spiritual energy. Okay, this is Gabe. So Gabe is a free spirit, a God that is represented, right? So this give me the vibration that the person that whatever they got going on that you worried about trying to figure it out, well, they is in a bipolar situation. Okay, because there's shadow card, which I'm going to take in consideration for this reading, is about the opposite, right? So Gabe is portrayed as somebody. Gabe is portrayed as somebody who is woken, kind of got everything under control, know what life is all about. They here to create. It's a real strong, arrogant attitude. Not necessarily narcissistic, but it's very arrogant. Okay. So on the shadow side of it, it's like, well, it's still, you got to level up. There's, for him, for this person, with this card right here, they still have to get some things together in life. And this card is all about awakening energy. Need to awaken up to the purpose that's really at hand. So this is the earthly energy. So basically, like, I feel like this person is most likely in some type of relationship. Whether it's a boo thing, you move when I move. But they got people that they kicking with, right? Especially with this one-eyed card, right? So I feel like they got more than one person that they chit-chatting with, okay? So this person's a chit-chat. They kind of searching a little bit for the type of person that will follow with this card, right? And with these two cards right here combined, and kind of dealing with women that appears to be a little submissive. They'll take a little bit of back talk, but at the end of the day, long as you go with the flow of what they have planned, the back talk really don't make a difference, for real, for real. As long as you go with the end of the flow. And what I mean by back talk is, well, you better have my back if this such and such go wrong. You better give me this back and such and such. All that type of tension that's coming off from the person that they chilling with. It's not doing anything. But whoever you are, because of the shadow card here, this is the shadow energy is what's making you feel uncomfortable about probably dealing with this person. Because the universe is like, hold up, it's still some levels to this by guy. Okay, yeah, this and this is here, but it's still levels to this. It's still a whole manifestation that's gotta happen. It's still a foundation that gotta get built, and you keep trying to and the foundation pieces that you trying to use is you trying to go with the trend. You don't want to do something old school. You want to do something more trendy when you kind of need to be doing something more old school to get what you got accomplished. So whoever is dealing with this person, you're looking at, you probably have a type of a vibe of trying to compare this person to certain values and moral compass or certain attributes that deal with the type of relationship you have with this person. You know, you that's where you kind of searching for the obligations and stuff through a textbook or a common sense type of agenda, right? And actually that energy is what's keeping you hooked because you're not putting that old school energy in the right way. You're putting that old school energy in a new way. So let's get a couple more cards to clarify here. Okay. So in this reading right here, this person, what's on their mind with this energy here with Gabe and One-Eyed Jack. My cards are slippery. Boy, these new cards are slippery. Yes, I had got me some new cards and everything. So, yes. Can you give me 3 cards that go more in detail why Gabe came out in One-Eyed Jack here when it comes to what's on this, what's on his mind reading? Let's get a 3-card clarification here. There's a 1. So we got the moon that done came out so far. So yeah. Okay, we got the Death card. So they're definitely resisting transformation. For sure. We got one more card. And these are major arcanas. Okay. So, first of all, it seems like this masculine right here got a real problem with blaming. They have a real problem with some type of accountability that's going on with this Death card looking at the moon and the moon looking at self with the 2 crows that's here. So they really got a problem of blaming. So basically whoever they deal with, depending on their, how do I say it, their fear factor, their rejection factor, their confidence, like if they feel that they could say more things around their homeboy a little bit more than they could say around you, or they could say this with one female but they can't say it with the other. They could act this way in certain parts to their mom and sister. It's like this person has a real problem with accountability, but also feels like they need the utmost type of respect. More respect than what they give you. For real. What's the last and final card here? We have the 5 of Pentacles here. Yeah. So their attitude really is very drainful, but what makes it more drainful is the circumstances that surrounds both of y'all. Meaning that there's a little bit of a unique stability situation. Like it's not really 100% codependency because it can get a little bit messy, right? It's not really, it appears to be codependency, and that's why the moon card is coming out to convince you that it's codependency, but it's not really codependency. It's, I call this type of energy, as I'm not conscious enough to understand my own personal desires. That's what I call this energy, right? Because he doesn't know himself what he truly desires. He knows what his gender is, and he knows that he could take advantage of all the world situations that's going on to justify his effort or justify how he make money and how his money come in, the frequency of how his money comes in. And he can also use that to justify how much he wants to put into the situation due to, being friends with benefits and in this situation, right? But with this Five of Pentacles here, that's where you play your role at. Because it seems like on the flip side, you're the type of person who want to be in your own way, kind of a little bit independent. So in this friends with benefits kind of thing is, you already know you got more than him. So you don't realize that your conscious side in manipulating this situation, your thoughts. It's not codependency, but it probably feel like codependency because you link to them because you independent. It's like when him keep coming around, even though he acting foolish, you know that you got the key to your own personal castle. So you being able to turn that faucet on and off, jerk him around with it, is you getting your rocks off on it. You just don't see it that way, per se. Because at the same time, your money get a little tight. So when he do kick off, it's easy to deal with him on a kickoff because of the way that you work in your situation. Meaning you want to know more about him than he need to know about you. See right there, shadow card, Queen of Cups. So that's the way those Queen of Cups can move. And not saying that he don't have one. His is in the creative process of the way that he make his money, while yours in the creative process of being a representation of a powerhouse female. So that's what first of all, got y'all connecting. When it comes to this situation. Now, in the link of this, right, what's on his mind, universe, what is the lesson to be learned inside of this? What is the little lesson here to be learned? You can get 2 cards lesson for him first. And then can I have 2 cards for the lesson for her? Oh, did I show you the moon card? It's the moon card that came out. It's the death card that came out. And that's the Five of Pentacles. Okay. All right. Now, can I have 2 cards for his lesson to be learning this? I have 2 cards for his lesson to be learning this. Okay. I'm going to just keep that card because it flipped over last and it fit this. All right. That's going to be the middle card. All right. All right. Hold on. Can I have the 2 cards? So the Queen of Candles didn't come back out. Just come back out. But may I have the 2 cards to represent her lesson to be learning this? So that's the 8 of candles. So it's definitely trying to move past forward. It's some type of elevation for her in this reading. You gotta elevate. So maybe that's why the shadow card, the elevation, that awakening is here, is that he's there to teach you that awakening lesson, and it might be part of your independency that you traveling on, but you looking at it from a different type of lens. It is time for you to elevate. One more card here for her. One more card here for her. I believe that's the one. Okay. We're going to look at the shadow card on both of the shadow card on that one in a minute. So for him, he have the 7 of Wands and David and Goliath. So let me first explain why I'm using this biblical tarot. I saw somebody up here on YouTube had it, and I thought it was cute. So it was on Amazon, so I got it, right? But I'm also a philosopher with a degree in philosophy, right? So the Bible is, to me, like a history book. And one thing about David and Goliath, right, that don't get talked about so much was all the women that David raped, all the way to his best friend's wife, Bathsheba. He even killed his best friend because he wanted his best friend. Just think about it. Back in the time when the Bible was written, men were smart enough to try to attempt to cover up a rape, a pregnancy. So he wanted his best friend to come back home. Yeah, he was in charge of his army too, but he was also his bestie, right? He wanted him to come all the way back home, have sex with his wife, so that with his mind being so preoccupied on protecting him, he might not have realized that the baby wasn't his. He had a certain window of opportunity, but his best friend didn't come. His best friend was so loyal to him. He said, no, I'm going to defend everybody. I'll be there with my wife. She understands my job, my loyalty. And he died. So right here, it said, David said to the Philistines, you come against me with sword and spear and javelins, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. And one period of time, he did have that. But after that abortion, well, when Bathsheba learned that her husband died and she prayed to the gods, that baby died. Because she told him, the God's going to prove to you, you need to bow down and confess to them. So the lesson that he got to learn is to walk the walk he talked, basically. Okay? And we have the 7 of feathers. And this reads, Jacob said to his father, Esau, your firstborn, I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game. And so that you may give me your blessings. Jacob, the deceiver. So once again, the lesson that he got to learn, and you probably the one that got to give it to him, whether he going to learn it instantaneously should not be part of your problem, but when you kind of kicking it with somebody like that and you kind of got like a little kind of heart up inside of you, it bothers you in some real life stuff, right? So, but you need to let this person go for a little bit. You know, even when they start running back, don't take them back yet. Because they stuck into this game and they need to come out of it. And that's just the facts here when it comes to it. Okay? So that's his lesson. His lesson need to get the blinders taken off. That life go deeper than what the way he trying to carry it right now. So the 8 of Candles, Philip and the Ethiopian. Okay? This came out sideways like this, right? And this says, when they when they came up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord suddenly took Philip away, and they did not see him again, but went on his way rejoicing. And the eunuch did not see him again, but went on his way rejoicing. Rejoicing. See, it already said that. He went on his way and didn't even see him again, right? And the next part that came out is young David. Whenever the Spirit from God came on Saul, David would take up his lyre and play. And then relief would come to Saul and he would feel better and the evil spirit would leave him. So before David even got in the position that he used to worship Saul, right? And I do remember that. So Saul made God upset. And why can that, is it Samuel that he sent there? Sent Samuel to tell David that he was going to take over. Even Saul tried to kill David, found him in there. Well, David could have killed him in the cave, but he didn't. He let Saul go. See, that's when David was a changed person. But the power that got there, just like you train that quarters with your independence and your control and dominancy over him, going to blindside you and affect you. So right now, with being friends with benefits, you just need to let it go. And just entertain, have the phone calls, put the distance there though. Let that jank roll over. And you might have to go through this for about 4 or 5 months. You just got to be strong with it. Play your role the way you want to. The way you should, anyway. So the moon is right here. Jacob's dream see, there you go. Jacob's dream. So we're back at Jacob, the deceiver. Right? And we got the moon card, which came out in the beginning of this reading here. So basically, your man got a lot of stuff, or your friend got a lot of stuff on their mind that's not going to heed the type of yield, the type of results that they really desire right now. They need to make some adjustments to their agenda. And you, as the person that you are playing this role, got to start finding a way to give out some tough love so you don't sink up in there. Because your independency, your strong, your strengthness that's here. And the card that came out between is lovers, like a contract. Okay? So this is Adam and Eve, and whatever story, whoever watching, whatever you believe about Adam and Eve, gonna relate to what it means to this reading. And that's just all to it. So, you need to go ahead, like I said, find a way to give tough love based on the way your situation is with this person. And you need to figure out how to do it. If y'all living together, some nights you might have to go stay with your mom, your people, or whatever. You got to do what you got to do. But when you walk, just trust the universe got you. And walk with security and faith. Because, that's the only way it's going to wake this person up. And it might be tough money for you because I could feel a little bit of a resistance here. But you'll find your way out. So I hope you enjoyed this reading right here. And I'll be around again soon. Thank you for stopping past.